From local sports to national newsmakers, this is the show everybody is talking about. Live from the Granite State, it's Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Good morning and welcome to the Mike and the Hoss Show, powered by the Yum Shop on the Pulse of New Hampshire. I'm Mike Dene, and alongside Charlie Hossack, we are Mike and the Hoss. Gentlemen, I got shorts on. That's all I got to say is I got shorts on. I know, Charlie, you wear shorts all the time. I'm going to enjoy this weekend because the weather's supposed to be nice. The sun is out, but it's warm. How are you feeling?
Yeah. I'm feeling great. Walking in, you're right. I have shorts and a t-shirt on, and it's going to jump up to the mid 70s up in our neck of the woods today. So I'm excited about that. Gonna run a few errands. Be happy Easter weekend, everybody, and run a few errands to kind of finalize a few things. I got to pick up our meal for tomorrow that we're going to do. We're going to do a little barbecuing, which will be fun. And I'm gonna head into the woods. I'm gonna take a hike, take a walk with the dog. So I can't wait. I love the warm weather. In a week, when we go on school vacation, I'm really gonna get into the warm weather because I'm heading down to Florida for a few days to enjoy to visit my mother, but to enjoy some of the nice warm weather and hopefully a sandy beach.
We have a hike on as a possibility this weekend. That's more of a motivating thing. We're going to go up Bald Knob, but we're going to see how the weekend goes. A lot of outdoor things. I'm just so excited. I love outdoor chores in the spring and doing that. Just all that vitamin D and E and whatever that vitamin is. I don't. It is D. So. Anyway, hey, we got a good show. We're going to have a guest. Mike Zahn, the lacrosse coach for Concord High, is going to be joining us for our New Hampshire segment. We're also going to be playing a game. And, Dog, we didn't tell you about this. We're going to be playing a game after trivia today that's going to be in or out of bounds. So we're going to read some scenarios, and you guys decide if it's in or out of bounds. And today, trivia, we have a new sponsor for trivia today, Charlie.
We do. We have a Seven Sons Cafe, and you're going to love it. One of the best things they have, they make these amazing crepes. So you can get a delicious crepes down there. You can get bagel sandwiches. You can get all sorts of exotic teas. You can get coffee. It's just a really, really cozy, comfortable cafe, Seven Sons Cafe. It's located in downtown Wolfboro, but you're going to get a chance to win a $20 gift card. And you can actually, when you come visit us this summer, if you don't live around the area, go ahead and stop in there. You will not be disappointed. And the nice thing is, if you could sit outside and you could look out on the water of Back Bay, lots of action. So it's a lot of fun.
All right. Mike and the Hoss is powered by the Yum Shop, located in the heart of downtown Wolfboro, and can be found on the Pulse of New Hampshire radio stations and all over the world on the Pulse of New Hampshire app. You can always catch up and listen to our previous shows on the Pulse Podcast Network, Spreaker, Audible, Amazon Music. The Yum Shop has over 100 varieties of fresh baked goods, including 6 different types of bread, a full-service ice cream bar, and, of course, their most famous item, the gingerbread cookie. Make sure to visit the Yum Shop the next time you're in Wolfboro or online at yumshop.com. And while you're there, enter the discount code of Mike and the Hoss to receive 20% off the Gingy Box. You can join our conversation, 603-228-2080, 603-228-2080. I also want to mention that Charlie, I, and myself, and J-Dog have a podcast that is also on the Pulse Podcast Network called Overtime with Mike and the Hoss. And we do that midweek, relatively short, 15 to 20 minutes. We pick a topic and we kind of bust it out and work, topics, often things that we talk about on the weekends. It's not live, but Overtime with Mike and the Hoss you could find on the Pulse Podcast Network. Our stream is sponsored by the Heinz Group of Philadelphia and London, so thank you to them. You can catch us on Facebook Live. And Charlie, we have some social media accounts out there too.
We do. Make sure to follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram. That's X, Facebook, and Instagram for Mike and the Hoss.
All right. Opening takes brought to you by the Back Bay Boathouse,
where you can enjoy delicious food and drinks right next to the lake. Don't forget to order the $5 Mike and the Hoss penalty box during happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m.
Do you want to do the honors or you want me to do it?
You can go. Let's start with you, Mike.
This is a golf one. I don't know how many golfers we have out there that listen to the show, but if you are a golfer or if you are even remotely a golf fan, even if you're not a golf fan, you probably watched the Masters last week. And last Sunday was as dramatic of a ending to a tournament, a fourth round tournament. Fourth round of a tournament that you've seen in a long time. Rory McIlroy somehow pulled it out Uh, it was a roller coaster ride between he and DeChambeau, and then Justin Rose came into it. And the exhilaration that Rory McIlroy showed at the end, you saw the pressure just flow off his shoulders in real time. You saw that pressure come off his shoulders. And as I'm watching this, and I had thought this for a long time, Charlie, you and I have talked about live golf and what it's done to golf, and we're against live golf or against that whole thing. Between the Saudi money and the human rights stuff and just in general not being good for golf. We saw live offer the top golfers for the PGA Tour uber amounts of money, tens of millions of dollars, and they started plucking them away slowly, plucking the top golfers away. The golfer that they didn't pluck away was Rory McIlroy. Word is they offered him upwards of $700 million. Some people say $1.5 billion. I mean, really astronomical numbers. He never took the money. And it's well known that Tiger didn't take the money either. But Tiger was on the back nine of his career. And Rory McIlroy is in the prime of his career. He's in his 30s. He was one major away from winning the Grand Slam, which he now did by winning the Masters. He's now one of 6 golfers to win the Grand Slam. And I simply are saying that Rory McIlroy saved the PGA Tour by not jumping ship. He was the name that stayed. Scottie Scheffler is arguably the best golfer on the PGA Tour, arguably the best golfer in the world. But he came to be during the live stuff. You know, a lot of those golfers had left when Scottie Scheffler started to really win his tournaments. Rory McIlroy was there when they were there. Mm-hmm. Scottie Scheffler didn't get the bag that was offered like Rory McIlroy did. Rory McIlroy stayed. And I shudder to think about what would have happened to the PGA Tour if he would have gone, if he would have taken it, because he is the biggest name on the tour. I know Scottie Scheffler's the number 1 golfer, but Rory McIlroy was the biggest name at the time because he had the majors, because he had that swag that he had, you know, that the way that he walks, the way that he hits the ball, the Irish accent, he had it all. And if he would have left, I think the PGA Tour would have been a much worse position as far as negotiating with live. But the fact that he stayed, he was the guy that stayed. And now that he got that Grand Slam, that he beat those other live golfers, he saved the PGA Tour. I don't know how else to save it. I think he saved the PGA Tour. And because he was the guy that stayed, he was the guy that said, no, the tour is more important. That my legacy is more important than the money. And I'm thankful. I'm a PGA guy. I'm a PGA guy. I'm not a live guy. I don't watch the live stuff. Every once in a while, I'll catch it on, you know, Warner Brothers Network or whatever the things that whatever stations that they have it on. And I've said to you guys before, it looks like horse racing to me, the way all the color board is, and you know the guys coming from the different fields. It looks like horse racing does. You got odds going on. There's music in the background. The guys are in shorts. I'm a little bit more of a traditionalist.
Yeah,
I like the PGA Tour. I like the history of the PGA Tour. I'm really happy that this happened. I think it was good for golf that Rory won the Masters.
You know what I think? You know, I mean, I don't disagree with anything that you've said. Although I do disagree with one thing, and Dog is going to fix us. Isn't Rory? Isn't he Scottish and not Irish?
Oh, he's from Northern Ireland.
Oh, he's from Northern Ireland. All right, because the clan McIlroy would be Scottish, but we won't hold that against him that he's Irish. That being said, what I like about this is that he did not sell out because of money, because of power, because of fame, where he could have easily, as you said, Mike, gone over to live, and he would have created generational wealth for the next 500 years for that family. And he didn't do that. He realized how special, and obviously I don't know if he realized this. This is me saying that he realized this, how special it is to be in the PGA, how important it is, the history, and that live golf, for many reasons that you've already mentioned, Mike, is probably not where you want to go take your money from. And then he was able to say, you know what? It's not about money. It's not about power. It's not about fame. It's not about going to play for live. I'm going to continue doing what I do. And I do it well here. And he's certainly getting paid well enough that he was able to say, this is where I belong, and it's the PGA.
Yeah, he's not hurting for money by
No.
any means. He's not driving, the beat up Corolla to work. He still has his private jet. He still has those things, which probably gave him a little bit more options in terms of staying. But you're right. There was hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars that was put on a table for him. And these guys are like corporations. And you saw after he won, his entourage of people that were celebrating with him, where you know that they were managers and marketing guys and finance guys and all these other psychologists and all. His corporation of Rory McIlroy, and he was able to stand up to that because they don't care about the legacy. They care about the bank account. Right. But he was able to stick around. And I think that I applaud him. I was rooting for him. And it's nice when a guy that you're actually rooting for because he kind of did it the right way. Mm-hmm. And I know there's a little bit of baggage with Rory as far as family stuff over the past few years, but there's baggage with almost nothing compared to the baggage with Tiger, and we still root for Tiger.
We do. That's right.
So I think it's a good story for golf. I think it was really healthy for golf, and I don't know if this is going to move the needle in terms of them getting back, combining with Lim, some sort of a merger with Liv. Right. But I think it's going to help.
Agreed. No, yeah, I agree. Hey, do you think we could save, Mike? Do you think we could save my opening take to a little bit later in the show? I want to talk about it briefly, but I know that we're going to have Coach Zahn calling in shortly.
Okay, let's do that. We'll be right back with New Hampshire Sports.
Take the pulse of New Hampshire with you anywhere. And with Bill from Genrose Stone and Tile of Pembroke and Merrimack. Bill, 36 years is a long time. You guys are doing something right.
Well, I think we're doing a few things right. It starts with quality employees, quality products, and then service to customers. And you can go pretty far in this industry.
Have things changed that much?
Things are changing with tile constantly. They're getting bigger. Bigger the tile, the less the grout joints. Stone looks are so realistic these days that people think it's real marble or it's real limestone.
Yeah, I've been by the showroom. You are not kidding.
Yeah, all the factories are coming a long ways with technology, and we carry all the leading manufacturers. We have all the waterproofing you can need, all the different brands, whether you're a homeowner, tile installer, or a designer. We could set you up to do the whole job from start to finish.
Okay, Bill, the easy part. Where do they got to go?
Well, the original at 95 Sheep Davis Road in Pembroke, New Hampshire, and then 714 Daniel Webster Highway in Merrimack. And if you're in the North Country, you can stop in Intervale at Milford Flooring, our sister company, or simply go to genrose.com.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Mother's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for moms and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Hey there, I'm Jack.
And I'm Stag.
We're just two deer that want to make sure you know it's deer season at your authorized John Deere dealer. The deer season that saves bucks, like us.
Yeah, you can get $3,000 off select John Deere machines. No early wake-up calls or tree stands required.
Just a trip to your authorized dealer before June 2nd.
If you ask us, it's the only deer season worth celebrating.
Visit johndeere.com/deer season to find an authorized dealer and for complete finance details.
Spring cleaning isn't just for clutter. Let Benjamin Franklin Plumbing take care of your appliances. From water heater replacement or repair to advanced water filtration installation, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing is here to provide a worry-free summer for you and your family. Visit BenjaminFranklinPlumbing.com to schedule. You can count on the punctual plumbers, where your comfort and safety come first. Book now. Visit BenjaminFranklinPlumbing.com.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Coming up at noon, we talk tech with Kim Commando. In the meantime, we're back to Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of
Uh-oh. Did we just lose Dog?
We lost Dog. My goodness.
I'm assuming that we're still on air.
I would think so. So,
but
yeah. So we missed it. We missed our music. So I'm not going to sing our music for our intro back. But welcome back, everybody, to the second segment, which is the New Hampshire sports segment. All right, you ready, Mike? Should we get this going?
I'm not even sure if I know we're on Facebook. I'm just not sure if we're on the radio right now because there he comes.
Why wouldn't he be on the radio? I don't need to be in this scene, so you guys can talk amongst yourselves. I don't need to be.
It's just not the same. It's not the same without you, Dog. It's not the same without
you, Dog.
I understand that, but again, I'm not the meal ticket in this segment, so you will not need to see me.
Okay,
we got Dog. You know who the meal ticket in this segment is? It's Bailey's Bubble. So New Hampshire Sports is brought to you by Bailey's Bubble. Family-owned and operated Bailey's Bubble in downtown Wolfboro serves the finest ice cream in the state from May through October. If you can't make it to Wolfboro for ice cream, you can still order their hot fudge, panucci, and butterscotch sauces at baileysbubble.com. My favorite is their homemade hot fudge. When placing your order, don't forget to tell them that Mike and the Hoss sent you. Mike, we have a special guest on the line. Joining us is head coach Mike Zahn of the Concord Girls Lacrosse Program. Mike, can you hear me? Mike, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
I got you. Hey, Mike, it's great to talk with you.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah, good to talk to you guys. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, so Mike, our relationship goes back. This is crazy. It goes back 20 years or so. We were together at Brewster Academy way back in the day when our children were young and some weren't even born. So it's great to finally to chat with you. Funny thing is, Mike, is you the co-host here, Mike Dene. You've actually been in the building and have seen Mike Dene because Mike Dene coaches hockey for Kingswood, and I know that your son Ollie plays for John Stark.
Okay.
So, yeah, so you guys have been in the same building a couple times together, which is
great.
Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah, my son was a freshman this year for the John Stark Hopkinton team.
Yeah,
nice
good stuff. Mike, I'd like to start kind of just you letting us know a little bit about yourself. Kind of take us back. How did you kind of get to the point in your career? I mean, I knew you as a soccer guy. I never knew you as a lacrosse guy. So how did you get to the point that you're coaching lacrosse? You won some state championships when you were at Hopkinton, and now you're at Concord.
Yeah. So obviously, with girls lacrosse, you got to have a daughter to get into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my daughter Maddie, who, if Charlie, you remember when she was little, when we were at Brewster Academy. So she didn't play lacrosse when we were in New Hampshire because I think by the time we left Brewster, it was 2011. She was about 4, 5, or 6 years old. So then we moved down to Connecticut to the Salisbury School. It's an all-boys school where my wife and I both worked and I coached and everything. And that's where my daughter got kind of started in lacrosse. It's just a youth program over in Salisbury. I think it was near the Hotchkiss School over in Lakeville. But yeah, so she kind of got started there. And then we ended up moving back to New Hampshire in 2015. And we moved to Hopkinton. And the town of Hopkinton's a huge lacrosse hub for such a small town. Obviously, anybody that follows high school sports, the boys and girls for years and years have been really strong. So anyway, we have a really great youth program here. The town program that every town pretty much offers. And that's where my daughter started getting involved when she was young, probably I think we moved here when she was in the 3rd grade. So she started in the 3rd grade, just playing in the spring. She played other sports like hockey and soccer. And so then, a couple years goes by and, all the coaches in the youth program in Hopkinton are volunteers. So, as time goes by, they ask for parents to step up and help. And I just kind of that's where I started coaching girls lacrosse at the youth level. And then as she got older, the stakes get a little bit higher and she started playing year-round club lacrosse, I think in around the 6th or 7th grade. And then I kind of wanted to I enjoyed the game. I liked watching it. I liked coaching her when she was younger. So from there, I started taking some coaching courses with USA Lacrosse. Kind of just like the grassroots stuff, like every introductory coach needs to take. But then as I got more involved and started coaching more, knew I wanted to coach girls high school lacrosse. I started doing more of the USA lacrosse coaching courses. And probably it was like right before COVID hit, I was able to finish most of my USA women's lacrosse coaching courses, where I think I ended up getting like a level 2, which was the highest at the time you could get in women's lacrosse. And then I had some of the other certifications that I needed. Not necessarily, you don't need those for high school, but I just felt more comfortable getting them, just so I could learn, as much as I could. And then, started coaching Hopkinton lacrosse, trying to remember. My daughter was like in the 7th or 8th grade, and then just continued on from there in high school. I haven't coached girls lacrosse in the last 2 years because 2 years ago I'd taken a new position that wouldn't allow me to coach in the spring. And that's why I had to leave Hopkinton. And then when I came back, hadn't had the time to coach again, the position was filled. So I was kind of just waiting for, a local high school opening, and luckily Concord's opened up, and that's only like 10, 15 minutes from my house. So it worked out pretty well. So yeah, that's kind of how it all happened.
Hey, Coach, before I ask my question, Bob Hughes just texted me, wanted me to say hi to you and congratulations on your new gig. So apparently you coached. My question, so you're going from Hopkinton, a D3 school, to Concord, a D1 school. How does that look different in terms of preparation, off-season programming, when you're dealing with so many more numbers at Concord compared to where at Hopkinton?
So it kind of, like I said before, with the bio, like it really kind of actually depends on like where you are in the state. There's like, lacrosse, pockets of lacrosse where it's very popular around the state, and then places where it's not as much. Concord right now is kind of like in that valley. They used to be good, I guess, back in the day in the early 2000s, where they won a championship, I think in 2004. But in the last few years, I'm the 4th coach in 4 years. The numbers were for Division I school. We were a little lower this year. Obviously still higher than numbers you would get at Division III. But obviously, in our division, you've got the best of the best in the state. There's some very good Division III girls teams who could compete in Division I, but it's kind of there's a huge gap. So it's kind of getting in the gym in the winter earlier on to start preparing. And when I got hired, I think it was around Christmas or maybe a little after Christmas, I started reaching out to returning players, booster parents, and the booster parents do a really great job. They've done a great job getting me kind of introduced into the whole Concord program and everything, how things work in the district. But anyway, just getting the girls in there on Sundays, totally voluntary, but getting their sticks in their hands and doing lots of wall ball, lots of catching, doing some ground ball stuff in the gym when you can. The gym it's hard for any sport to practice in there, especially when those balls bounce everywhere. But I was able to purchase these non-bounce balls that definitely helped that. So anyway, just getting the girls in there once a week. Back when I was in Hopkinton, there was a couple years where I really tried to get the girls together in the winter, but they were just so busy with their other sports, and the only time you could do it was on the weekends, like on a Sunday. But they just wanted a day off, so we didn't do as much preparation for Division III back when I was in Hopkinton, as much as I've done so far with Concord. So I think that's a bit of a difference, is trying to keep up with those top teams in Division III. You've got to be playing more so than, not as much, but it is hard. Any coach will tell you that the kids nowadays are so busy that, you can only get what you can get in the off season. And whoever can show up and give you a little bit of time goes a long way in the end. So,
Coach, when you're building a team, whether it's soccer or lacrosse, whatever, how do you go about building a team? Kind of let us into your head as a very successful coach. What do you do when building a team kind of from the ground up, and you're the new guy at Concord?
So yeah, I mean, I've gotten better and better as the years that I've coached, the more experience, and especially I think what has helped me is coaching multiple sports. I mean, obviously my two big sports are soccer and lacrosse and girls lacrosse. But when I was at prep school, I had to coach other sports. I had to coach JV hockey. 1 year I had to help with track, things like that. So I think I kind of take things from other sports and try to implement them. And I guess my biggest thing when I'm trying to build a team is I'm looking for, number one is like athleticism. And, obviously kids, there's different types of athletes that come to your program in high school. So I look for kind of who are my most athletic. What are the positions where those, whether they're fast or have high endurance, what parts of the field can I put them in? And then, you kind of look for those other kids who may not be as quick or as strong, but they've got like the mental capacity to kind of think about the game on a pretty high level. So like, in lacrosse, we call it lacrosse IQ. Like, can they see the field? Can they help direct their teammates in whether we're on a settled offense or if we're on defense, can they kind of help get the defense organized and things like that. So, and then it takes a while. So since it's my first year in a new program, with myself, and I've got my assistant coach, Emma Diabraccio. She was kind of the volunteer assistant last year at Concord. So she knew the girls a little bit more and what they can and can't do. But I think that's one of the things that I do well is I'm able to kind of like, in a short amount of time, figure out who plays best where. And we're only 2 games in. We've got our third game coming up on Monday, and I'm still thinking about, changing up positions where, we're struggling in the midfield right now, transit on offensive transition. So I want to take a player off of defense, put her in the mid, because it's somewhere that we need to be able to be a little bit more safe and secure with the ball moving forward. And then have my assistant coach who runs a lot of the defense, have her take somebody that I want to move from the mid to defense and have her work with her to get her comfortable. So, yeah, that's kind of how I do it. And then just,
cool. Yeah,
sorry.
no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. No, I mean, I like it. Mike and I love to talk to coaches, especially Mike, successful coaches like yourself, as to kind of the mindset. Mike and I are both coaches, and it's interesting. And I liked your perspective talking about how you have your primary sports, but you've coached other sports as well, and kind of taking pieces from that as you're building a team. Hey, before we let you go, is there anyone you want to highlight on your team, whether it's captains or seniors or whoever, so that they can get a little shout out here on the radio?
Yeah, sure. So I've got 3 captains, and they're actually all juniors. And then I only have 1 senior this year. The senior is Charlotte Dill. She's been at Concord High, all 4 years. And I think she's played varsity at least 3 of the 4. She's from Deerfield. So she's one of the Deerfield kids that goes to Concord. And she's a really nice kid. She actually owns a lot of sheep. So she's always telling me can't come to practice one day or here and there. She's got to tend to her sheep and things like that. So she's great. And then I've got 3 captains, all juniors. One's Emma Pelletier, who's committed to go play at SNHU in Manchester. Then there's Leah Folds, who's a defender for us, who's really great, a really nice kid, and works hard on defense. And she's one of the ones I kind of want to get into the midfield. Mm-hmm. And then there's Amelia Crumrine, who is a junior, and she was injured all last year, so she didn't step on the field at all. And she had a little bit of surgery in the off season on her upper body, and she's making a comeback and looking stronger every day. And she's a very skilled player and just like a good leader on the team. So yeah, those 4 girls are really great and have been very helpful with helping me kind of get the girls together and motivated for the season. So.
Great. Well, that's awesome. Well, I'm gonna call you out, Mike, on the airways. We need to get together, my friend. It's been too long, and I would love to sit down and have more time to talk with you. But thank you so much for joining us. We, of course, Mike and I wish you all the success in your season, and please give our or at least give my best to your family, and check us out. Make sure you like us on social media. We're on X, we're on Facebook,
Yeah,
on
definitely.
Instagram. Yeah, so
Definitely. Thank you
Thanks,
very much.
Coach.
All
Really
right.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. Have
Thanks
a great
a lot.
day.
All right. Have a good weekend.
Thanks. You too. Happy Easter. Awesome. Well, it's just great. It's great to hear from Coach Zahn. And like I had said before, Mike, we go way back. And this guy is honestly, he's the cream of the crop. He was an incredible teacher. We worked together. He's an incredible coach and just an A+ human being. So best
Awesome
of
stuff.
luck.
He certainly seems like he has his act together at Concord, and he understands what he has. And I think good things are ahead for Concord Girls Lacrosse program. So, all right, we'll be right back. It's going to be trivia time.
This is the Pulse of New Hampshire, 107.7 WTPL.
When you know it's time for new furniture, shop local. Shop Cheney's Apple House Furniture in Pennacook. You can find American-made high-quality living room, dining room, kitchen, and bedroom sets, along with furniture for your children. Cheney's offers the most honest, low everyday prices around. Find the most comfy sofa, chairs, recliners, tables, and much more. Don't lose any sleep searching for that perfect bed. Cheney stocks Sealy mattresses, including the Sealy Posturepedic, in all sizes and comfort levels, alongside the world-famous Tempur-Pedic mattress. There's never any hyper hassle when you shop at Cheney's. Their sales staff are not on commission, so if new furniture, a new bed are in your future plans, shop Cheney's Apple House Furniture, 191 Village Street in Pennacook. Take 93 to exit 17. Head west and follow the signs to Pennacook. NHFurnitureStore.com. Open every day.
Apple House Furniture, the best furniture store in town. Apple House Furniture, the best furniture store around.
Attention homeowners. Do you have missing, torn, or curled shingles, or maybe finding pieces of shingles on the ground? These are signs that your roof may need replacement. Your roof is key to your investment of your home, so you are going to want a reliable and experienced roofing company to install a new roof. You are going to want New Heights Roofing. Don't let the tough New Hampshire weather take further toll on your roof. Protect your home with a new roof before it leaks with New Heights Roofing. New Heights Roofing is fully insured, giving you peace of mind knowing that your home is in good hands. New Heights Roofing serves the greater Concord area and even provides full financing. Whether you need a new asphalt shingle or even a sleek metal roof, they have the skill and professionalism and are certified in installing high-quality shingles from GAF, ensuring durability and longevity. New Heights Roofing also installs metal roofing, windows, and vinyl siding. Don't risk your home with a compromised roof. Schedule your free consultation today at newheightsroofingnh.com. New Heights Roofing, taking your home to new heights.
Hey, Dr. Graham, you know what makes Crossroads Chiropractic different?
Our great results, family-friendly atmosphere, affordable adjustments, even without insurance.
No.
The way we do a careful examination and take x-rays when they're necessary. The fact that we make a plan for correction and really help our patients.
Great and true, but I was thinking what really makes us different is our patients themselves.
Well, our patients are awesome. They're like our chiropractic family.
They are our family, and so many of them came to us as a last resort. When nothing else worked, they chose us for help with migraine headaches, back pain, neck pain, sciatica, and even digestive problems.
They also brought their kids for help with bedwetting, chronic ear infections, asthma, colic, and ADHD. But please don't misunderstand. We don't treat conditions or cure anything. We align the spine so the body can heal itself.
Today, we're inviting you to see how chiropractic could help your family. This month, a complete exam with any necessary x-rays is just $59 at Crossroads Chiropractic in Meredith, Pembroke, Bedford, and Epping. Call 603-575-9080 or go to crossroadschiropractic.com.
Get in touch with the show anytime at thepulseofnh.com and on the free-to-download Pulse of NH app. Now, back to Mike and the Haas on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Even though this is my favorite one, I'm cutting it short because we're short on time today. 603-228-2080. Charlie, let's do some trivia.
Sure. Today's trivia is sponsored by Seven Sons Cafe in beautiful downtown Wolfboro. You're going to have a chance to win a $20 gift card. Seven Sons Cafe, nestled on Railroad Ave in downtown Wolfboro, is a cozy little spot that welcomes both visitors and locals alike. Known for its delicious crepes, hearty bagel sandwiches, and a variety of drinks, including coffee, tea, and refreshing fruit smoothies, it's the perfect place to grab a bite or relax with a drink. On warmer days, guests can enjoy the outdoor seating and take in the charming hustle and bustle of Wolfboro. During the summer, the cafe is open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. When visiting Seven Sons Cafe, don't forget to tell them that Mike and the Hoss sent you. All right, this is for a $20 gift card to Seven Sons Cafe in Wolfboro. Who holds the all-time Celtics record for free throws made? Who holds the all-time Celtics record for free throws made? Made is the important one. Free throws made. They have to actually go in the hoop. So if you know that, 603-228-2080. That's 603-228-2080 for a gift card to Seven Sons Cafe.
Thank you for clarifying that, Charlie. I wasn't really sure what you meant by made, so
listen,
going in the hoop. Hey, let's play a game. Let's play a game. Every once in a while, we get a game going. This is called In or Out of Bounds. I'm going to read something, and you guys are going to say if it's in or out of bounds. There's 6 of them, and one of them actually works off your opening take, Charlie, but that'll be the second one. All right. Harriet Dart asking, this happened in a tennis match last week, and Harriet Dart asking the ref for her opponent, Lori Boisson, to put on deodorant. Is that in or out of bounds?
Who's starting, me or Dog?
Why don't you go, Charlie?
All right. It's completely out of bounds.
Dog?
Out of bounds. Out, Jerry.
She has since apologized for this multiple times on social media that she asked to do this. I've never heard of this. I've never heard of this.
Not only have I never heard of it, but here's the thing: it's tennis. You're not next to your opponent. You're there's a net in front of you. You're pretty far away. You're not hanging out with your opponent.
They walk by each other when they're going to their breaks in between, and that's when it happened.
Yeah, I know. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if this were basketball and, like, maybe your arms up in the air or something different.
Yeah.
Wise philosopher named Apollo Creed once said, "Sports make you grunt and smell. Be a thinker, not a stinker."
All right. Going off your opening take, Charlie, University of Colorado retiring Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter's numbers. They had a 13-12 record with no bowl wins. It is blowing up all over social media. Dion has the answer to this. In or out of bounds? Should their numbers be retired?
Absolutely, positively, way out of bounds. They've only played at Colorado for 2 years. They transferred both of them from Jackson State. Yeah, Travis Hunter's kind of a stud. He plays cornerback and wide receiver. Give me a break. We're not retiring Buffalo numbers. I mean, my favorite Colorado Buffalo is Eric Bieniemy, and his number's not retired. I mean, give me a break. Absolutely out of bounds. Dog?
Out of bounds. You don't see Mike Westbrook or Cordell Stewart's numbers. They're retired. A lot of the 1990 championship national title, you don't want to see a lot of those guys' numbers retired. They haven't done nothing. It's recency bias, and this is the poster children for recency bias. We'll see how they do in the NFL draft.
All right. Nico Lamaleve. He left Tennessee, football player, claiming that his $2 million a year NIL deal was not enough. In or out of bounds?
This is crazy that we're even talking about. It's out of bounds. I mean, $2 million. He's making $2 million on NIL in college football, and he's going to leave Tennessee. It's ridiculous. Out of bounds.
Dog?
I'm going to say inbounds. He wants to grab more of the bag. He's not going to get that at Tennessee because they have limited those options. Well, now UCLA becomes the potential to land a stud like this. Grab that bag.
All right. Roy McIlroy. We talked about him in our opening take. Not speaking to Bryson DeChambeau during the final round of the Masters. Not saying a word to him, acknowledging him. Not even hello. Nothing. Absolutely nothing during the final round. In or out of bounds?
Yes, this is inbounds. This is what's going to make golf continue to be great. I think there needs to be rivalry. I love this. People that are not golf fans are like, oh my gosh, they didn't interact. They didn't talk. This is awesome. I mean, it's almost like it's scripted. It's almost like, if we were to follow them, if we, they probably hang out together. But this is awesome, and I think it's great. Inbounds.
Dog.
Inbounds. This has the makings of a 30 for 30 when Rory ghosted Bryson.
Nice. Produce that one. All right. Bark in the park at MLB games. So these are dog-friendly games at MLB. During MLB games, it's called Bark in the Park. Different stadiums have it. The most recent one was in Baltimore this past weekend. Bark in the Park MLB games, in or out of bounds?
I'm going in. I mean, I'm a dog fan. Inbounds. I think it's awesome. Dog at the ball game. I think it's unbelievable. Think about it. Like all other people there are dog lovers. So you all have something in common. You love baseball and you love dogs. I couldn't think of a better opportunity to watch a baseball game next to your best friend.
Dog, are you into dogs at the ball game?
I am, because who let the dogs out? You know, who let them out? They let them out at the ball game. They didn't let them out at the hockey arena or the lacrosse game. No offense to those fine sports, but Bark in the Park. Oh, lovely.
I mean, I'm a dog. I get dogs. I'm just not sure if I want to be next to somebody else's dog in a game. And what if they're misbehaving? What if they're not trained well? What if they're not trained well?
Well, that's on the owner. So I mean, you know, maybe you have to have them on a leash. All right. You know, because I could see some dog, like a retriever, is running out to get the baseball as it's hit. So
I would assume that they're on the leash.
Yeah.
Assume.
They have to be among the rules. Yeah, you can't have like a crazed Rottweiler on the prowl.
All right, last one. Paige Beckers set to make 3 times the amount playing in the 3v3 Unrivaled League than her WNBA contract, and she was chosen number 1 in the WNBA draft. But she signed a contract with Unrivaled. That's a 3v3 league that happens off season, making 3 times her salary. In or out of bounds?
I say it's inbounds. It's all about the sponsorship. If Unrivaled is able to be able to pay the participants this kind of money, I think it's great. The WNBA, we've talked about this. The WNBA loses money year after year. Nobody's interested in the WNBA until last year with Caitlin Clark, and hopefully they can ride that. And now with Paige going in, hopefully it's going to continue. The popularity of the WNBA is going to rise, and then eventually, salaries in the WNBA will go up.
Dog?
Out of bounds. The WNBA needs to get this fixed now. Enough is enough. They've got to stop this. Can you just imagine in the NBA, if you didn't, let's say you didn't make enough money in the NBA and you had to do another rival league like this, there's only one WNBA and it keeps growing and growing and growing. Well, let's have it grow to the point where it's going to be profitable and they'll have even more sponsorships.
Something's missing. Something's missing in the WNBA that a rival league, even though it's called Unrivaled, a rival league that happens in the off season that is 3v3 is able to pay this kind of amount of money compared to the WNBA. WNBA has an issue. They have an issue in marketing. They have an issue in finance. They have an issue that they got to fix fast.
Yeah.
All right. That's going to do it for this week's In or Out of Bounds. 603-228-2080. Charlie, what is the trivia question? We haven't had an answer yet.
Who holds the all-time Celtics record for free throws made? 603-228-2080. That's 603-228-2080 for a chance to win a Seven Suns Cafe gift card.
All right, quick Celtics preview when we come back and a little Red Sox.
News, information, and discussion. This is 107.7 WTPL.
You can get it done, but you won't get it better when it comes to comfort. We were real gold when you call Gold Plumbing and Heating. The good guys are coming.
Spring is here, and soon the flowers will bloom and the birds will sing. Unfortunately, melting snow can also cause major damage to your home or business. Now that the snow is melting, go down to your basement and check your sump pump or basement drain to make sure it's properly working. If your basement floods, don't step in the water and don't touch any switches, wires, or piping. Call Bow Plumbing and Heating to have your basement pumped and your equipment checked. Mechanical entity, license 0478.
Taking care of the customer every day. Doing the job in a small town way. You know, nobody does it like Bo. You know, nobody does it like Bo. Bo Plumbing and Heating. Nobody does it like Bo.
This summer, join the Proudy, the most powerful community celebration to bring hope to cancer patients and their families, to fuel groundbreaking research, and to get us closer to ending cancer once and for all.
I Proudy for every single person who fights the battle against cancer.
I Proudy for my Uncle Joe, my late husband.
For our grandfather.
For my sister Robin. For the survivors.
Come join us. The Proudy is a family-friendly event where you can bike, walk, row, or volunteer to support the life-saving work at Dartmouth Cancer Center. Hope starts here. Hope starts with you.
I'm Proudy for all the people who helped me survive.
I'm Proudy to spread hope. I'm Proudy for you.
Join us at the 44th Annual Proudy on July 12th. You'll support groundbreaking cancer research. You'll bring support services to patients and their families, and you'll provide hope to people facing cancer in New England and throughout the world. Register for the Proudy today at theproudy.org. That's the PROUTY.org. Come Proudy with us. Hope starts here.
Johns Hopkins University has found that just mild hearing loss doubles your risk of dementia, so hearing loss isn't something to ignore.
But hearing aids are so expensive and ugly.
Not anymore. Meet Audien Hearing. You can get nearly invisible hearing aids without a prescription starting at $98 a pair, and they're ready to use right out of the box. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, and with over 1 million customers, Audien is easy to trust. Visit audienhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
No artificial coloring, no artificial flavoring. We all want the real deal when it comes to food, so why settle for anything less when it comes to your insurance? At Allied Insurance Agency, there's nothing artificial about their intelligence. It comes from education, experience, and most importantly, listening to their customers. When you call Allied Insurance, you'll speak to a real person, not an automated system. They will ask all the right questions to ensure that your home, auto, business, and life insurance policies are tailored to your specific needs. Let Allied be your trusted real-life insurance agent. Call Allied Insurance 603-224-5394.
You're listening to the Granite State's own Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Mike and the Hoss on the radio waves. Teachers by day, coaches making plays. Sports talking games of
603-228-2080. There's still time to get the trivia. Charlie, do you want to give a hint on the trivia?
Sure, I'll give a hint. So the trivia question once again is who holds the all-time Celtics record for free throws made? This happened, I guess, not too long ago. Within how about we say within the past 20 years?
25. I would say 25 years.
Yeah, that happened within the past 25 years. So if you're thinking the 80s, it's not the 80s. Stay away from the big three, the original big three. So it happened.
Oh, you gave it another hint there. I don't even know if you gave another hint.
I did. Yeah.
So we're going to do a quick Celtics preview. This is going to be a quick one. If you want a more in-depth one, Overtime with Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse Podcast Network, you can catch the three of us did a much more in-depth playoff preview for the Celtics. But our poll question has to do with the Celtics this week. So, Dog, let's do the poll question, and then we can talk about it.
Okay, last week's poll question was, who will the Celtics face in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs? And we had Hawks, Magic, Heat, Bulls. On X, it was 80% Heat, 20% Magic. And, of course, they will be facing the Magic in the NBA's first round playoffs. And on Facebook, it was 100% Bulls and 0% anyone else. Joke's on them. This week's poll question is, will the Celtics repeat as NBA champions in 2025? Yes or no? That's on X and on Facebook. We'll post that at noon.
So, in Overtime with Mike and the Hoss, you guys were much more confident about their opening round matchup against the Magic than I am. I think that that could be a stumbling block for them. I don't think the second round is going to be a stumbling block. I do think the third round could be a stumbling block, though, but they're 1-2 against the Magic. I understand regular season; it's a grind. You don't know, who played in what game, who was getting managed in the games. But I do believe that with the NBA, it's matchups, and I don't think they match up well against the Magic. I see this going 6 or 7, and I think either way, 6 or 7 games is a problem for the Celtics because of health, and I think that's where they can get tripped up. Charlie?
I disagree a little bit. I think the Celtics, I'm not overly concerned about the matchup. They open up tomorrow at 3:30 at the Garden against the Orlando Magic, the Celtics. I have the Celtics winning this in five games. I mean, they're going to trip up in one of the games. My biggest concern, and you'll hear more of it on Overtime with Mike and the Hoss, is just the health of Jaylen Brown. He's been nursing this knee injury. And it's just my concern. And my concern is important in the sense, Mike, especially if they were to go to 6 or 7 games. Just the more basketball is going to be more aggravating for Jaylen Brown and any other players that are, kind of struggling. So I think it's important for the Celtics to win this in 5 games. Dog?
Are they going to Charlie? Are they going to repeat? Let me ask you real quick. Are they going to repeat?
The Celtics fan in me says yes. The realistic fan is, as Dog would say, you don't repeat in the NBA. So I don't think they're going to repeat. They're going to probably lose in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Dog, what do you think about the Celtics?
Celtics in 5 here, and then if they meet Indiana or Cleveland, then it's over. So
yeah, I just don't see it. Nobody's repeated since Golden State, and I think 17-18. And it's been a while. It seems to be much harder. There's a lot of talk that the Celtics had a clear path last year, a much easier path than they do this year. And if that's the case, which I think the three of us do believe that they had a relatively easy path last year, a lot of key players on other teams got injured just as the Celtics got to them. They're going to have to earn it this year. And I think Tatum was along for the ride last year. He wasn't the key players last year. He was along for the ride. I think Tatum's going to need to be that MVP caliber player game in and game out, not just in every once in a while, game in and game out, Jordan-esque, let's say. And I don't know if he's got it in him.
Yeah, agreed. So I don't know. We'll see. Obviously we'll see, but I think it's going to come down to the health of the Celtics. Last year we were talking about the Celtics with Mazzulla. Is Mazzulla going to get in the way of this? And I actually think he's settled down and turned into a halfway decent coach. I mean, I think he gets out of the players' way. So it's going to come down to Brown and Tatum. And then, the nice thing about the Celtics, and I said this on Overtime with Mike and the Hoss, is I love the bench. Some of the bench players could be starters on other teams. So,
I think Mazzulla does get out of the way because they have probably the top 7 in the NBA. If you go down their starting 5 and then the next 2, their rotation is probably tops in the NBA. And the only thing he could do would be to screw it up he stays out of the way. Turning the page to the Red Sox, they're going to be playing the Chicago White Sox at home today. 3:10 pregame, 4:10 first pitch. Did I get that right, Dog?
You did, on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Yeah, and I believe Crochet's pitching today, so it's going to be a pitching matchup today. And they won last night. They're 11-10. They're better than 500. But then again, they are playing what arguably is the historically one of the worst teams in history in the MLB.
Yeah.
So
they only have. The White Sox only have 4 wins. So they're already on the struggle bus.
2 of them are against the Red Sox. Say it again, Dog.
Still better than the Rockies. Woof.
Yeah. Well. The story that I saw this week, and I know we're going to wrap things up here, Roman Anthony is, again, the number 1 prospect in baseball.
Yes.
Hitting grand slams, home runs. They got to get him up. Marcelo Meyer, right on his heels as far as prospects in baseball, hit his own grand slam this week. So they're kind of this 1-2 punch down in Worcester, and they got to find space for him. You had an interesting thing, Charlie. You said trade Trevor Story now while he's hot and bring up Meyer. And trade Casas while he's not so hot. Put Devers at first, and let's rotate those 4 guys in the outfield. I'm with you. I think you got to get those guys up ASAP. The Red Sox are struggling scoring runs. Those guys are hitting the cover off the ball. They seem to be the only ones in the organization besides Trevor Story that are hitting the cover off the ball. Get him up now.
Yeah, agreed. And make it, especially Trevor, where you might be able to get something in return for him. A team that's looking for a shortstop that can hit.
Trivia answer, Charlie.
Paul Pierce.
All right. Again, Overtime with Mike and the Hoss. You can catch it on the Pulse Podcast Network. And you also can catch this live show on the Pulse Podcast Network, or at least a rerun of it. And we'll put that up today. And the Overtime happens in the middle of the week. Have a great week, everybody.
Happy Easter.